Hi YouTubers, it's me, Madison, and it is really, really late at night or early in the morning. I don't know. Yeah, but like, I was just gonna say hi, and
No, that's not gonna happen. Right. My friend's not gonna give a birthday baby for the sake of my fashion career. She'd rather just move on and live in the... Oh, fine, we'll do it. Thanks, you're the best.
sorry, had a problem there. I was gonna say how amazing Josh is. He is just the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I have no idea what I would do without him. Like, like, the first day I met him, it was one of the best days of my life. I was walking home, and he was walking behind me, and my friend tripped and fell in the grass. So I had to stop and help my friend up, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, blah, blah, blah." And then Josh starts to go past, and so I start walking with Josh, and I was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And he's like, "I'm Josh." And I was like, "Oh, really? That's cool, I'm Madison." And then about a week later, I saw him again, and he's like, "Hey, Madison." And I was like, "Hey, person that I forgot your name." And so yeah, I forgot his name. And so we started talking. We were just chilling and stuff. And right before this, my mom said that if I had a new boyfriend, she had to meet him first to approve of him. Whatever, right? And so about 3 months later, me and my other boyfriend broke up. And I was walking with Josh again that day, and I was like, "Hey, Josh," and he's like, "Hey, Madison." And then I was like, "Me and my boyfriend broke up." I'm not gonna say his name. And I was like, "Hey, me and my boyfriend broke up," and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Yeah." And we started walking. It was completely silent. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, hey, can I get your number?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so I give him my number and everything, and he texts me like as soon as I get in the car. And put a big box with my mom. And he's texting me. He's like, "Hey." I'm like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "It's me, Josh." And I was like, "Oh, hey." And he's like, "Hey." And he's like, I need to tell you something." I was like, "And what is that something?" He's like, "I kind of like you." I was like, "Oh, really? OMG, I like you too." And he was like, "Yeah, so do you want to go out?" And I was like, "Well, I really like you and everything, but you'd have to meet my mom first." And he's all like, "All right." And so we kept texting. He was like, "Do you think we could just act like our boyfriend and girlfriend?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "I really, really like you." And I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet. I really like you too." And he was like, "No, Madison, I like really like you." And I was like, "I really like you too." And and so we were talking, and then that was on like a Friday, and so on Monday he walked home with me, and he met my mom and everything, and he lived in the same subdivision that I used to live in, but I just recently moved. And so my mom drove him home, so we found out where he lived, and she approved of him, obviously. And so now we're dating, and we've been dating for 1 month and 2 days, and today is the 11th, the 11th of December 2011. Sorry, I'm like really slow because I don't feel good. My eye hurts. Alright. This is hard to do.
I mean, people do it all the time on the internet. The other day, I saw Big Bird doing a Kanye West song.
Alright, enough of that. I did that for about a minute. So yeah, I guess I was just gonna talk about how amazing Josh is. How I love him.
It's like that time you and Dad tried to push the dishwasher up the fire escape. We had to buy a new fire escape and a new dishwasher.
Oh, I just like him so much. And sometimes we get in our fights, but you know, every couple gets in fights. But we always fix them. And whenever he's feeling down, I always help him back up. And if I can't help him back up, then I get my aunt on the phone. And she's like, dude, blah, 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 blah. And she makes him feel better, see? And he gets along with all my family, my cousins, my uncle, my grandfather, my brother, even my brother. So, yeah. But, PewDiePie. It's my favorite YouTube channel. Besides mine and Josh's, it's Pew.